Can't stop. Don't stop. Can't stop. Don't stop.
Fernie.
Can't stop.
I came to make one thing clear, I'm here to take us up higher like Lear. This make a break. If I stop now, I die here. Me, I can't. Too much at stake. This is my year. I will never stop. Gotta keep it moving. I steer past anything getting in my way. Rap game has lanes. I consider a highway. Life too cold. Check the flows in the ice tray. Got too good. Heart warm. Made a life change. Now I'm really up. What's really good? Life's great. Now we make them dance. All the facts. No man say. Never no cap in my rap. Heard the man say. I just give my life. God died for mine. Means everything for me more than dollar sign. DJ Jimmy Rock hit me the lace. This and I replied. How could I? Now bring the vibes before the drop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Can't stop.
Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Don't stop.
All right, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't stop. Won't stop. It is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad. And Brother Marcus is going to unmute his mic because this is Culture for Christ Radio right here on Inspiration 1680, 100.7 FM. What's up, Brother Marcus?
It is Culture for Christ Day. It definitely is. And I know those people are like, what in the world
Is that?
going on?
Yeah.
Hey,
But it was
listen,
good. Won't stop.
it was
Can't
good.
stop.
Won't stop. Can't stop praising God. That's
Yeah.
what that's all about. That is DJ Jimmy Rock. And he has, and that's actually a remix of a song that he did called Won't Stop. And
Awesome.
it's, listen, let me tell you something. The reason why I wanted to play that song is to show everybody that the gospel is not limited to what we put into a box.
I agree.
Hints, hints, hints. Guess what I did not know?
What didn't you know, sir?
I didn't know that Kiki Sheard and Jacqueline Carr actually hosted the Stellar
How didn't you
Award.
know that? That was broadcast
You know,
everywhere.
I wasn't paying attention. I really
Lord
wasn't
have
paying attention.
mercy.
And the
Yes.
reason I wasn't paying attention to it is because I wasn't really interested. I haven't been interested, unfortunately, in the Stellar Awards for a minute. And
Understood.
it's because of just some of the things that we talked about on the show yesterday.
Right, right.
But once I saw the highlights and everything, and I'm just sitting down Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
And the feed is just going. My
Listen.
my messages are going. My Facebook. Is just,
I'm
"Are you
talking
watching?
about
Are
the
you watching?
Stellas
Are you
was
watching?"
it was the hottest topic and still is right now. The
Said it was
hottest
dynamite.
topic. Yeah. And what I love is Jacqueline actually hosted last year with Ty. It was Ty and
Okay.
Jacqueline last year,
Okay.
which I personally said that Jacqueline should have hosted last year by herself. And I'm going to say it.
Is that
I'ma-
good?
She was that great, not good.
Okay. Oh,
She was
okay.
that
Great.
great. Her
Okay.
look was great. The way she presented herself on stage was great. Her talk was great. She did her thing. You understand? So I could really understand why they brought her back. I didn't understand why Kiera got, on with her. But I'm just saying what I say. Okay? But I seen a couple clips and I heard some good stuff and they said they worked well together. And so that's all I have to say about it.
I love Kiera Kiki Sheard. I absolutely love that girl. I love Jacqueline. And I think that it was an awesome combo. And I agree with you. The way that they actually showed a side that their generation is
Yes.
actually moving towards,
Yes.
which we have got to like. It is, and what is more phenomenal about this than anything else, Drina, is that the two hosts of the Stellar Awards are two Church of God in Christ
Come
girls.
on. Come on, Kojic.
I'm like,
Come on, Kojic.
wait a minute. That's historic.
That is
That is
awesome. Both
historic.
Kojic. And the other thing is, Jacqueline is more of the new school traditional, I would
Yeah,
say. She's more new school traditional, and Kiera is new school, new school. You you
she
you
is
get what I'm
now.
saying?
Yeah,
Now,
she is now.
she's
Yes.
changed a lot, so that's kind of, she changed. Kiera changed a lot.
Now I'm gonna tell you, Kiera was ahead of her time.
Yes.
She was definitely implementing things that were not normally heard through her generation in music on the singing side.
Right.
I went to a concert. It had to be like 2014, 15 maybe, in Tampa,
Okay.
and she was there at God rest his soul at Bishop Williams Church. I believe that's where I was.
Okay.
And she was trying to implement some of her new stuff, but the people wanted to put her in this box and wanted her. She was like, "Y'all want me to stay in this place?" So she was like, "I'm gonna sing this because y'all ain't ready." Because she was presenting stuff from her new album, but people were still on that
On the
the,
past album,
the,
yeah.
the worship album that
Yeah.
she had put out.
Yeah.
Because that worship
I
album
can't
was
I can't talk because I'm really still stuck on that worship album. It was one of my
that worship album was
favorites.
fire.
It was
That worship album is fire.
it was fire. It was one of my absolute favorite. And during my personal worship, I still play some of those songs. I do like the originality that she has now. She's, not really. She's learned how to make her own name because everybody wanted to keep her in the box with her mom and different things. She
Yeah,
wanted
her
to,
aunts
and
and
her aunts
everything.
and stuff, and she
Yeah.
wanted to make her own name, and that's what I believe she's done and is continuing to do.
And
Um,
sometimes it's hard to do that. It's
yes,
hard to
it's
break
hard to
away
break
from that
free.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to break free from that.
Especially when you're in the shadow of such a profound and great family.
Legends.
Yeah.
You got a legendary family, man.
off, in the secular world, I was actually watching the Janet Jackson documentary when she was actually saying the same thing. That's like, you people don't understand the pressure that was put on her to make a
Yeah,
name
to
for
make
herself,
that
to come
name.
up off
Hmm.
from under that Jackson name. Like,
Yeah,
you have so much to live up to, right? And
yeah,
then you have to make a name for yourself at the same
absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the Stellar Awards, we were talking yesterday about some comments that were made, particularly by Ernest Pugh. And then he did come back on the Larry Reed live show yesterday evening
Yes, he
and kind
did.
of tried to
He
smooth
tried to
over what he said.
explain what he wrote. And this is the thing I want to tell everyone that takes to social media and write your paragraphs, write your statements and all of this. A lot of times your what you write don't translate into what you would say.
Right.
And it
Absolutely.
does not. And
Absolutely.
so you will write a check that you can't cash. That's
My, my.
and
My, my,
so
my.
you got to be so very careful what you write out. Because if you would have thought about it before you wrote it and then write after thinking, maybe you wouldn't have to explain what you said because you would have already said what you really meant.
And you know what, Drina, I actually think that he did think about it. That's why the
He
statement was
probably
so
did.
long.
I'm
He
just
did.
I'm
It
trying to
was
give him the benefit of the
seasoned.
doubt because I
You can't even,
love him.
you helping him out. You
Thank
helping
you.
him out.
Let me help
But
him.
I'm gonna let you help him because
Okay.
I don't want people to think that I do not like uh, Ernest Pugh. I
Right.
think that Ernest Pugh is a great artist. He's a great writer, and he's a great singer. Now, what I want to say is that the Stellar Awards was awesome because Christian hip hop showed up
They
and
did.
urban contemporary gospel showed up in droves and the people loved it. It is very hypocritical, and I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. It's very hypocritical to say that our brothers and sisters in Christ who represent the gospel from a different side of the ministry, that traditional gospel music is the only answer. And that because they are from hip hop, Christian hip hop, and contemporary and urban gospel, that the gospel is not under them. The gospel is the good news. So if it's delivered in a letter, if it's delivered in the apostolic letters, because the Bible is full of apostolic letters, New Testament, Old Testament, all of these, the Old Testament and New Testament were written by men. Those were letters, those were books. That's the gospel, right?
Yes.
The Bible, if it's a poem, if it's a spoken word, if it's singing or rapping, if it's spreading the good news, which is the gospel of Jesus Christ, then that is the gospel. So to say that because it was a show geared towards Christian hip hop or urban contemporary and the gospel was not a part of it is extremely hypocritical. And you do not have the mind of Christ to say that that is what it is, because the Bible says that the gospel is go to the highways and the byways and the hedges and compel them to come. And the word delivered is compelling. And that's how I feel about
Okay. That was good. I love it. I love it. I have nothing to say, but I love that. And you know what? This is how I feel. I believe that I believe that we just need to know how to include all of the different facets of the music not not separate or segregate our music. I
it.
don't have another way to say it. I think there is a place for every genre. There is a place, and sometimes we go so hard with one that we make others feel left out. So let me just go back and let's hit this point. Um, I'm kind of shocked and surprised at how hard Ernest Pugh is going at this now, because when the Stellas was in more favorable for his genre of music, nobody spoke out for the quartets.
Said nothing.
Nobody spoke out for the choirs.
Said nothing.
Okay, nobody spoke out for the gospel rap hip hop artists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why is it now that they're going all in for maybe the hip hop or the younger generation? It's such a uproar. It should have been an uproar then when you saw them excluding all of the other ones.
It should have, and I certainly agree with you because we have watched this play out. We have watched them push gospel hip hop aside.
Yeah.
We have shown them blatantly disregard the urban and contemporary gospel for over 2 decades.
Yes.
Like how never ever nominated for anything unless it was a feature or a collaboration with what they call the gospel. So
Right.
it's a slap in the face
Yeah.
to say it's not gospel, and it was all just for a show because he
Yeah.
made the claim that it was all just for a show. Now I have to push back on that because when someone performs on the Stellar Awards, or if we go to a concert, and or if we're at church, at the end of church, we walk off and we talk to that person, whoever sung. What is one thing that we say to them? You
You. Mm-hmm.
showed
Mm-hmm.
out.
Out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Take off the ed from showed.
Mm-hmm.
Show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stellar Awards is a
It's
show.
a production.
It is a production.
It's a
We're not going there to
production.
jump and shout
Yeah.
and
It's
hook
a
'em Messiah.
production.
It's
It's a
production.
production. Yeah.
When you're sitting in the audience, they first take shots. They say, everybody clap your hands.
Right.
They take these shots first and then they edit. They say, everybody's yay, yay, clap, smile.
Absolutely. You're absolutely
All these
right.
things. And then in editing, they put those claps and yays and all these kind of things in the midst of the show.
That's right.
So you see the production, you think those people are clapping. Those people have already clapped
In the beginning.
in the beginning.
They've
And so
yelled
they-
in the beginning. They've clapped in the beginning.
all
All of that. Yes, it's
all
been
of that is
recorded.
taking place.
Yeah. Yeah.
My sister is watching from South Florida, and she reminded me there is a scripture in the Sunday school lesson we used to do responsive reading, and one of the responsive reading, it says, there's a scripture and I can't remember where it was, but where it comes from, but it says, "And other sheep that I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring. Other sheep that I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring." So the gospel has to be appropriate to where it's going. Bible says that my word will go out and it shall not return unto me void.
Yes.
If I write it in a letter, if I sing it in a song, if I do spoken word, if I rap it, if I sing it, it's still the gospel.
Right. Right.
Still the gospel.
Right. Right. Hey. Hey.
So they really killed it. So
Yeah.
you know, what do we say? Let me tell you something. When we brought Canton Jones about 2 years ago, I honored Canton Jones at the Eddie
K-Joe.
Awards.
All right.
K-Joe at
That's
the Eddie
K-Joe.
Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pleasure and a privilege. I think that he is a catalyst for Christian hip hop. He is one of the
Absolutely.
ones who he may not be the godfather or the progenitor of Christian hip hop.
But he was absolutely a
he is
door opener
one-
for.
Yes,
Yeah.
he definitely kicked the doors
Yes,
open.
he did. Yes, he did.
I have to say this. When Canton Jones came to the Eddie Awards 2 years ago and we did a concert, they kind of pushed us all the way to the back, all the way to the side, right? This man, so in that concert, there were probably about maybe 50 people at the most that actually ended up staying because we started late and everybody had did their show and everything, all the choirs and the singers and stuff, and they had left. And
Right.
so we just had this small group of Christian hip hop, people who love gospel hip hop, Christian hip hop. When I tell you that Canton Jones ministry was absolutely not a performance.
Oh, trust me, I've seen him perform
Oh,
several times.
It wasn't.
It's not a performance. No.
It was.
He goes
absolutely
hard.
Ministry. He goes hard.
Yes, he does.
Prophecy came in the midst of that.
He will lay
Those
hands.
people
He will
he
pray.
laid
Yes,
hands.
he will. Yes, he
Those-
will.
Those artists were on the floor crying. They were speaking in tongues. It was not anything that I've ever seen before in my life. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait. If you've never gone to a Christian hip hop concert with K-Joe and you walked out of there and the Holy Ghost wasn't deposited,
Yes.
didn't deposit something into
Yes.
you, and he didn't speak prophetically into your life through
Yeah.
K-Joe, oh my
And
God.
this is the thing. If you take the time out to listen to the lyrics of K-Joe's music, all of the lyrics is Bible based. All
Oh
of
my
his
God.
lyrics, they are straight out of the Bible, and he just raps them. It's really Bible based, and he makes it more layman term for those who can't understand the Bible. He makes it more layman terms
was
to
fire.
them, and I love K-Joe. I had the pleasure of co-hosting a program in Atlanta, and he was one of the artists that was represented. His son and his wife both are artists as well. And man, that show was not a typical hip hop show at all in Atlanta. So I want to give a shout out to Jay Williams. That was not this year. That was last year. It was it was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I like Sky Blue. That is the artist name for Kjo's son. He goes
That's
by the
it.
name
Thank
Sky
you.
Blue.
I couldn't think of it, but he's an amazing young
He's
man.
amazing. And he's grown up. I did an interview with him during the pandemic, and we were coming out of the pandemic, and Kjo was getting him acclimated, and we did an interview with him on live, and it was funny because he
Yeah,
was a typical 12-year-old kid at the time. We
for
asked him a
real.
question, and
Yeah.
it's like yes, no.
Right, right. He was strict
And
to
I
it,
said, you
straight to
really
the
want to
point.
get I was like, you really ready to get off this interview and go
Yeah,
back
he's
to
like,
playing
leave
that
me
video
alone.
game, right? He was like, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
and Kjo also told me that a lot of his tracks that he did, it was his wife doing the background.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
I was
he
like,
was.
that is so awesome. So
Now let me give
he's
you
such a family oriented man.
he's a
Like,
pastor, he's a husband, he's a father.
yes,
Let me give you another thing on Kjo. You know,
yeah,
Kjo grew up, his father was a quartet singer, and Kjo
yes.
used to sing quartet growing up
And
up in there around that
he still
Pensacola
loves
area. He
quartet.
still loves it. He still loves it.
Yes, he does.
I, I'm telling you, my brother Terrence Johnson, he's one of our rappers out of Ocala. He was this was smooth. That brother's so smooth. That's my little brother right there. It was that concert. I'm telling you, the fire of God fell in that place in that concert.
Yeah.
And he prophesied to me, and he told me something, and I remember it because it's coming back to me. And anytime God prophesies, when someone prophesies to you through, when God gives you a word through a human, we always have an interpretation or a thought process in our mind about how it's supposed to go. Our thoughts are not his thoughts. Our ways are not his ways.
That's right.
And the way that he does things, it takes us around a different turn, and we don't understand it until we get there. I'm at a
Right.
place where I remember that word that he spoke, and now I'm understanding why he spoke it to me. So I'm gonna move in it. I'm
Listen,
moving in it,
and you know why you can remember? Because God's word will never return void.
It never does.
It never does. Even if it
It
don't
never
happen
does.
immediately, it's still going to happen because that's just our God.
It is. It is. Listen, y'all. Drina, can you, before we go to that next song, we take this break and we come back, because we got some more stuff to talk about. But let me just say this to you all, ladies and gentlemen, that you are listening. Gospel is not a sound. Gospel is not a sound. The sound of gospel, as we declare it today, is a man-made construct in which people categorize what gospel music should sound like. How can you box God and package him up? You can't box up God. God is God. He said, the heaven is my throne and the earth is my footstool. So how can we, who God created us, how can we put God into a box and declare this is the gospel? And this is how gospel sounds. If the good news is attached to it, then it's gospel. It's gospel. It's gospel.
Well,
We
I want to
can't
say
be not a
one thing about
microorganism.
that. Let me just say one thing. I agree exactly what you're saying, but there is one thing different that I want to add is, yes, gospel has a fragrance and an anointing to it as well. You understand? It may not
Absolutely.
be in the same genres or facets, but when I hear gospel, regardless if it's hip hop, quartet, whatever it is, there should be the same feeling I get from a old school I need you, I need the Lord now, I should get in that as well. So the motive, the heart posture of that song still should have the fragrance of God on it. So I want to make sure that's clear, because I been out here and I see some of these artists, and me and you talked about it, Marcus. I see some of these hip hop artists that I can't tell the difference between. I see some quartet artists I can't tell the difference between. So whenever you're an artist and you're doing the music of God and the will of God, make sure you are in his will and his fragrance is there. Make sure God greets and meets you in that music. That's all I need to add. I have to add that.
100%. And what will happen is, if you are in the presence of God, what you are ingesting is God, then what's going to come out of you is God.
Exactly. Thank you. That's it. That's what I needed
What's
to
gonna
hear.
come? Consecration. Somebody
That
just
part.
put in here consecration.
That's
Somebody
right.
responded to your comment, the heart posture.
Yes.
And somebody else responded, said, beautiful are the feet that
Yes.
spread the gospel.
Yes.
Hey, listen. Hey, this next song that's coming up is a good friend of Drina's. And she's starting to become a good friend of mine. Her name is Robin McGee. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nobody.
I love Robin. I love you, Robin.
I've been on this road for some time now, and I've had my share of ups and downs. But on this road, I haven't got tired, because I've come way too far to turn back now. Nobody said it would be easy. I just don't believe it, no. You came along and made me whole. I haven't been the same. Matter of fact, my life's been rearranged since you changed my name. I don't even think the same, and it's because of you, Jesus, that I will never go back that way. Nobody said it. No. Hey, 'cause he's been walking with me on this serious journey, and I don't believe it. Oh, no. You see, every now and then, the devil tries to steal my praise, but I'm letting him know I'm coming out with my hands upraised. He sometimes tries to steal my joy, and he sometimes tries to steal my peace, but I'm leaning on the Lord, 'cause he will strengthen me. So will I give up? No, will I give in? I'm holding on. My faith is strong. Will I give up? No, will I give in? I'm holding on. My faith is strong. Wait a minute, let me testify about this man in my life. See, he came along and he rescued me and put me on the path of righteousness. Now every day ain't a struggle, but I can't say it won't get hard sometimes. But nothing you can say I do will make me change my mind. No, nobody said that the road would be easy. No. Hey, 'cause he's been walking with me on this tedious journey, and I just don't believe Jesus brought me this far to leave me. Will I give up? No, will I give in? No, I'm holding on. My faith is strong. Hey, I come too far. And nobody told me that was road. I don't believe. No. Nobody said what would be easy. He's been walking with me on this tedious journey, and I just don't believe that he brought me this far to learn.
What's up, y'all? This is John and Sequoia Howard of the Agape Music Group.
Yeah, and we rock with Marcus, Lady Drina, and the Culture for Christ segment on WOKB Radio Orlando.
Central Florida's only radio station for Christian hip hop and new gospel music.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
plenty of politicians talk, but we need someone who delivers. As our state senator, Randolph Bracey, has stood up for us, passing more laws than any Democrat, and bringing more money to Orange County than any other legislator, crafting the Parkland gun bill to keep our kids safe, passing $15 minimum wage for state workers.
I'm Randolph Bracey, and I approve this message because in times like these, we need a congressman who's gotten the job done.
I'm Natalie Jackson. I'm a mother, a small business owner, a former naval intelligence officer, a civil rights attorney who has worked on policy outside of politics, like on cases like Trayvon Martin and the Pine Hills barbershop raid. But most importantly, I'm a third-generation Central Floridian. I understand the needs of this community. I've been all over the district talking to people, and I hear you. People are hurting. Gas prices are through the roof. Rent is skyrocketing. Home ownership is out of reach. Healthcare is unaffordable, and the wealth gap is widening. Congress isn't working, and when Congress isn't working, it's not serving the people. I'm ready to do my duty and serve by utilizing my experience to help ease the pain and improve the lives of citizens in District 10. As your representative, I'll fight for small business owners, for affordable housing, to keep unions strong, and to ensure that our personal freedoms and human rights are protected. I invite you to check out my website at nataliejacksonforcongress.com.
I'm Natalie Jackson, and I'm running for Congress in Florida's Congressional District 10. I hope that I can earn your vote on August 23rd. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa Myers, candidate for State Representative District 40. My mission is to solve major issues relating to affordable housing, seniors, and career development. I will stand up for small business owners and implement more funding for those suffering from mental health illnesses. As a mother, successful business owner, and community leader for over 10 years, I have the compassion, endurance, and servant heart to bring about positive change within our communities. On August 23rd, partner with me to bring about good trouble and a fresh perspective in Tallahassee. Melissa S. Myers, candidate for State Representative District 40. Together, let's put our passion into action and take back our communities. I'm Melissa S. Myers, and I approve this message.
Political advertisement paid for by the citizens for the advancement of WOKB.
What I admire about Judge Andrew Bain is the work ethic that he brings to the bench and to what he does.
He's fair, right? That's to his core.
He's a firm believer in the law and our justice system.
He's already been on the bench. He has the experience.
No one brings his skill set, his intellect, or his compassion or commitment to the community.
My name is Andrew Bain. I'm an Orange County judge. I'm running to retain my job as your Orange County judge. You can vote early or on election day on August 23rd.
This is a political advertisement paid for and approved by the Committee to Keep Judge Andrew Bain, nonpartisan for County Judge Group 2.
I'm voting for Pam Powell.
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 Who's a Pam Powell?
I'm Pam Powell. I stand against voter suppression. I stand against gun violence. And I stand for more affordable housing, better health care, and to take care of our senior citizens. So vote Pam Powell, State Rep, District 41. That's right, and I approve this.
Travaris McCurdy has been your voice and advocate in Tallahassee, fighting for affordable housing, education, and voting rights. Travaris McCurdy is a strong and powerful leader who cares and fights for the citizens of his community and state. He is endorsed by our national, state, and local leaders like former Governor Charlie Crist, former State Representative Alzo Riddick, State Attorney Monique Worrell, Orlando City Commissioners Regina Hill and Bakari Burns, Bishop Derek McCrae, and many more. Our most trusted leaders trust Travaris McCurdy. Travaris McCurdy is your voice in Tallahassee. Paid political advertisement paid for by Black Floridians for Good Government. PC 120 South Monroe Street, Tallahassee, Florida. 32301. Independent of any candidate or committee.
Hey, what's happening? This your boy One, the CHH artist of the hit song Gutter the Glory, and you're hyped out with Lady Drina and Marcus on WOKB, the Live Drive Culture for Christ broadcast.
All right, that's right, guys. We are back with nothing but the best in Culture for Christ. Man, we do the best conversations and music all together. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are driving, drive carefully, drive safely, drive to arrive alive. Don't forget, early voting has started in some areas. So if you want to beat the traffic and beat the hassle, go ahead and get the early voting in. You know that elections is August the 23rd. So make sure you have everything you need in together for this term of voting, because votes are needed, guys. Oh, it's needed. Support your community, support your city, support your county by voting. Your vote matters. Your vote matters. It matters. Listen, we going right back in with some more good gospel music. Waiting on Brother Marcus to come on and click back in. Come on, Brother Marcus, and get in here. Here is Danny Parker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Can't explain this. Everybody, just a party. Popping bottles up and down like say tomorrow not there. Anybody, tell somebody, yeah, that Jesus is coming soon. Yeah. So I you will see the lights where I didn't see for you, yeah. So I pray for you, that you will see the lights where I didn't see for you, yeah. This world gon' fade away, the light is on its way. This world gon' fade away, the light is on its way. This world gon' fade away, the light is on its way. This world gon' fade away. Hold up now, let me finish. Let me take that one sip, let me do the lesson. Oh, His grace is unending, mercy's unfailing. So from the bucket, me, I keep on bailing. Don't be deceived, brother. Like a thief, it will come in the night, brother. Take those that are right, you better look upright. So clean in your white, so I pray for you, yeah. Everybody, just a party. Popping bottles up and down like said tomorrow not there. Anybody, tell somebody that Jesus is coming soon. So I pray for you, that you will see the lights where I didn't see for you, yeah. So I pray for you, that you will see the lights where I didn't see for you, yeah. This world gon' fade away, the light is on its way. This world gon' fade away, the light is on its way. This world gon' fade away, the light is on its way. This world gon' fade away.
All right, God bless
so I you will see the lights where I didn't see for you, yeah. So I pray for you, that you will see the lights where I didn't see for you, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Danny Parker. Met Danny about 2 years ago during the pandemic. We used to interview him a lot, and he is from Gambia, the Gambia, not Gambia, but the Gambia, South Africa. The Golden Coast is what they call it, the Gold Coast in Gambia, South Africa. And Danny told me that in Africa, in his portion of Africa, they make music, they produce albums, and it's good production, but they don't get paid for their concerts.
Oh, wow. They don't get paid for their concerts?
They do not get paid.
So how do they receive money to buy their merchandise?
They work. They work jobs. They
Oh.
work. And singing and music is a hobby. So
Okay.
it's not something that they do for a living. They actually work.
So that's just fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he has a whole album out and continues. And he's only like 20.
Oh, wow.
Because at the time when I interviewed him, he was 18 when we first met him. So it's like 8 o'clock here in the States, right? And he's getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do the interview.
Wow.
He's like, I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired.
Yeah,
Like,
I
man,
know.
we good.
I must believe that time difference is crazy.
Oh
Wow.
my God. Oh my God. No, they don't get paid. They make the question is, do they get paid for the album? The answer to your question is no.
Wow.
His brother is actually a producer, so fortunately for him, he doesn't have to pay for studio time or anything like that. He just goes.
Oh,
in.
so that is a fortunate situation for
That
him.
is a fortunate.
Yeah.
For other people who don't have that luxury,
So
it's
they're
different.
spending out a lot of money.
Yeah, they're spending out a lot of money.
Well,
And,
are
yeah.
they able, like, to sell their products and
Oh,
things
yeah,
like that? So
he's
so
all
they can kind of
over,
make it up for that.
Yeah, because he's on all of the platforms. He's on all of the musical platforms. His videos and music are on YouTube, Apple, and different other streaming sources. So he does get income there. But,
Okay.
like in the country, in
Right.
Gambia, in the Gambia where he is, it's like he's like, no,
Wow.
we don't get paid, and they don't think anything of it.
Well, that's
Like,
awesome.
in America is totally different.
It's completely different. Not
You ask
totally,
somebody to come and
completely
sing
different.
who don't even have a record, and they want
Listen,
$300.
they want more than that. I
You
do.
ain't even got no workout.
Listen, I am presently getting ready to host my 10th radio anniversary. And when I tell you it is not free, it is not free. These artists are not coming for free.
No, they're
And
not.
trust me, it's the love. It's the love for what I do, why I keep doing it. It's the love for what I do that I
They
keep
want
doing.
money.
It's the love
And
of what I
I
do.
don't disagree with that.
It's the
either.
love.
I
It's
believe
the
that,
love.
I believe that
Because
it's worth
it's not a lot of money in it. I've been doing these programs as a promoter here, and it's been a lot out of my own pocket. A lot out of my own pocket. Minimum sponsors to none. Minimum support to none. It's hard to get people to share your flyers. Hard to get them to make a video for the program they're booked on. They won't even promote it. You can pay them their deposit. You can pay them all their money. You can give them their accommodations. You can do whatever you want for these people, and they won't even help you promote the event that they're coming in on. And then a lot of them not even known in the area. Not
So they need
even
to
known.
promote.
So they need to help promote
So
because
you know who you are.
don't nobody know you. Literally, I've had just talking about the program I have coming up. I've had so many calls saying, who is this artist? Who is that artist? Who are they? Who are they? And my heart is for the artists that no one knows.
Yeah.
I want to bring artists in that I know are absolutely great, absolutely good, and nobody knows them. But by the time they leave here, you know them. You got a different respect for them, and you gain a whole new following for the artists.
You will.
You gain a
I
whole new
think
following.
It's important. We were actually just talking about that the other day about an artist who reached out, wanted to come and do a concert, and my suggestion to that artist was you need to partner with the artist in the local area as well, so that they can come in and be a part of it, because
Right.
they don't
know you.
They don't know you. So you
Mm-hmm.
got to partner with these local artists and let them
Exactly.
come in and be a part of your show.
Exactly.
So, and unfortunately, I haven't heard back from that artist since. But your
Well,
name alone,
hopefully we will hear
I
back
hope
from
so,
'em.
because I would
Yeah.
really love to do it. I would really
Yeah.
love to do it with
Yeah.
him.
That'll be great. It'll actually be
We
great.
we are the family of Ashley Lockhart, ladies and gentlemen, is preparing to lay her to rest after she was brutally murdered by her fiance, Raymond Thompson. He is a man that is well known in the area that they live in, which is West Philadelphia. He is well known by the authorities, and that's who you don't want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Don't want them to know you well. But he brutally murdered her, stabbed her to death, and left her 6 children motherless and fatherless. From my understanding, I know definitely motherless. I don't know if he is the father of
So
all the
let
children.
me give more information because I've been researching and following this incident a lot, and he is the father
Of
of
all
the
6.
children. I don't know if it's all 6, but they did say he is the father according to the police record, because he is presently in jail, and he did stab her 18 times,
Mm-hmm.
and he left her in a car,
Yep.
in a
I know.
vehicle.
Yep.
And she is a young
He stabbed
woman
her in the car.
in the car, and that was 18
18
times. 18 times. Young woman.
That's brutal.
I believe she was either 29 or 30, and she
I
has
think she was 26.
okay. I
But
knew
there's
something
a lot
like
of
that.
She's very young.
Very
To me,
young, and she has
26.
6 beautiful little girls. That ranges. The oldest is 10.
And the youngest is 5 months.
Yeah. Oldest is 10, youngest is 5 months. So now those beautiful little kids and little princesses will be without their mother,
All
and
girls.
without their
All
father
girls.
because he will be in prison.
Yep.
So
It's
we want to
tragic all
keep
the way
those
around.
children in prayer, y'all. I mean, this is going to be something that at least the older ones, they'll never forget this. The 5-month-old, she probably won't remember any of
No,
that,
there's
but
no way. There's no way.
but it's gonna be something that these kids gonna have to live through, not having a mother, not having their mother.
I pray that not only do they get the love and attention that they
Yeah.
need, but they also are surrounded by a village of people and family
Yeah.
who will help to rear them and keep them safe. Because to separate them and to not care for them completely and to protect them, they're girls.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the videos. By all accounts, everything that I watch about her is those young girls say their daily affirmations, the ones that
Yes.
can
Yeah.
communicate. And she seemed to be a great mother. And I know people talk about people great when they pass off, but there's evidence.
I was
of
finna say,
her
according to
motherhood.
their social media, she was a great mother, and she
Mm-hmm.
loved her daughters, and she kept them so beautiful. Like
She
all
did.
the pictures, kept their hair very tidy, cute little barrettes, nice matching outfits, or just they were just beautiful little girls, absolutely beautiful. So
Yeah, and it is for someone to go to. Here's the thing that I have to point out to. She had an active PFO on this
she
guy,
did, she did.
but they were still living together.
Yes.
And one of my cousins last night was like, I don't know. She was like, love will make you do a lot of
A
strange
lot of
things. I
crazy
said,
things. Yeah.
love will make you do some strange things, but fear and Stockholm syndrome can also
Absolutely.
it could make you do some
Absolutely.
because for someone to stabbing is
Ooh.
not like shooting.
No.
Um it's like passion, like deep-seated.
It's rage.
It's rage.
It's rage.
It is absolute rage.
It is rage.
That's like taking somebody and beating them to death with a bat.
Right.
In the head.
That's rage. Yeah.
It's rage.
It's rage.
And like, if you do that, and just to look at him, every time I look at his photograph, something wells up in me. Like, what kind of man?
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to be with somebody that bad, take off and leave.
Leave. Just
leave.
Just leave. Just
you gotta
leave.
beat the woman up.
Right. Murder her.
18 times. That's
Man,
vicious.
That is.
Vicious.
That's absolutely horrible.
And now we have these young babies who are left without their mother.
Yeah.
And it's sad, unbelievable, and just terrible.
Yeah.
It's sad, unbelievable, and terrible. And it's demonic. It's a demon. It's a demon foot. If anybody would go at somebody like that, it's a demon. And yes, it was in West Philly, and I know that West Philly is you got to be strong to grow up in West Philly in the first place.
Yeah.
And this young lady was doing an absolutely amazing job with her daughters. Yeah. And here we are. You know, my prayer is to keep them
lifted. Absolutely. And you know, while we're on this subject, you know, any young woman or older woman, any woman, and maybe you could be a male, if you're listening to us, there are warning signs. Don't ignore the warning signs of abuse. Don't ignore it. So many times we see situations and stories like this. We had one in this area not too long ago, where a man chopped off the lady's arm.
Her arm. Mm-hmm.
And then brutally shot her, I believe, in the back.
In front of the police.
In front of the police. In front of the police. So there are warning signs. Love yourself and love your kids enough to get free from them situations. If you have children, love yourself enough to be free, and look at those babies. If you have children, and love them enough to want to live for them, to want to be there for them, to want to continue to raise them.
You know, I think people make the mistake, women a lot more so than men, make the mistake in thinking he ain't gonna do that.
Right.
He not gonna do nothing like that.
Yeah.
He gonna beat me, but he not gonna kill me.
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with my father, and my father said something to me that I always remember. He said, Marcus, you don't know what another person is thinking.
That's right. And then you never know what can take that person over their limit to where they snap. I know a lot of people heard of the show called Snapped. A lot of those situations, they wasn't premeditated. It was somebody literally blanked out and lost their mind a quick moment and snapped. You never know what's the breaking point for someone else. You never know.
If you have family and you understand, and sometimes it's very difficult when you are a family member that is trying to get involved to help a person out of a domestic situation.
Yeah, it is.
One of the things that I found out, and even through family members that are in law enforcement, is that they hate going to domestic violence calls. And
it's one of the most dangerous calls to go to. The most dangerous, because you never know what you're going to get.
You never know.
And I know that because I was a dispatcher for 14 years. And being the person to receive that call and have to send officers out to those calls, it's something. It's something, guys.
They can get there. The lady calls the police, but then when they get there and the police start arresting the man,
the woman can attack. Yes. And I've seen it so many times where the woman would call and then they'll rush down to the state attorney's office and take the little class that they have to take to drop the charges. I mean, all of these things happen. And it's like, and then they go right back. and then
they go right back.
And the situation don't get better. It gets worse. It gets worse. And then the abuse will start going towards the children.
Yes.
This is real. This is so real.
It's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, if you know this, you know, you can't be sympathetic and say, okay, he's going to change because he's telling you, oh, I ain't going to do it no more. I ain't going to do it no more. How many times have you heard that? Like, get out, get a family member who will actually, but first you, mom, you woman, sister, queen, you have to understand that if he beating your tail like he beating you, and you still ended up with 6 kids from the same person, or no matter how many it is, but he beating the stew out of you. You are in a dangerous situation.
And your kids are in a dangerous situation as well.
Children are watching this man beat you.
Yeah. And I'm reminded of a 911 call I received years ago where this incident took place in the city of Maitland and on I-4, where a male took all of his children and brutally killed his kids. He took some of them out to the Maitland Lake and he slit their throats.
Oh, wow.
He took the other kids in his SUV and on purpose on I-4 drove his SUV into a freight truck.
18-wheeler.
18-wheeler. And I was one of many calls that came into our 911 center, and I answered. And only one of those 5 kids survived. One. Yes. I'll never forget that. That is a day that was seared into my memory. I literally cried behind that case. It was horrible. I never heard of or seen anything like that. And so it's bad, guys.
It's sad. It's sad. Because I remember this is a guy that I went to school with.
We got 1 minute.
His wife was trying to leave him. And he went to her job. She worked at a hospital. And he shot her like 7 times in the parking lot.
I remember that too.
Mm-hmm. And we went to school together. We didn't grow up together, but we did kind of grow up together. And so you never know what people are thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta stay safe. If it's a situation like that, get the help that you need.
Get it. Listen, there are safe homes. There are safe homes. They have a harbor house for women and children. They have so many places. You can just Google it. So many places where you can get assistance and get help. Get the help you need.
Get the help. In the city of Orlando and surrounding areas in Central Florida, just dial 211.
That part right there. Listen, this is Culture for Christ, man. We thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you continue to join us every Monday and Tuesday with myself and
Mr. Marcus.
The famous one. All right, y'all. See y'all later.
This is WOKB 1680 AM Winter Garden and W264DV 100.7 FM Kissimmee, the heart and soul of Central Florida.